Everyone, if you're running an e-commerce store, you know how important it is to really understand your financials. Today, we're going to tackle two of the biggest and honestly most confusing numbers out there, revenue and income. And let me tell you, getting this right, it's the difference between just spinning your wheels and actually building a profitable business.
So, picture this, right? You just had an amazing month, maybe your first 100K month. The sales charts are going straight up. You're feeling great. But then, you look at your bank account, and that number is, well, it's way smaller than you thought. That feeling right there, that's exactly what we're talking about today. The huge gap between the money you make and the money you actually get to keep.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with what revenue is, then what income is. We'll even run through a real-world e-commerce example so you can see it in action. Then we'll talk about why this all matters so much, how to track it without going crazy, and finish up with some quick FAQs. Super straightforward. Okay, so if you're going to remember just one thing, let it be this. Revenue. That's your top line. It's that big, flashy number at the very top of the page. It's all the money coming in. But income, that's your bottom line. That's what's left after you've paid for everything. One number shows how busy you are, the other shows if you're actually profitable.
All right, let's dive in. We're going to start at the top, literally, with the top line, which is revenue. Now, this is the number everybody loves to brag about, right? But to really get it, we need to be crystal clear on what it is and what it isn't.
So revenue, or gross revenue, you might even just call it sales. It's the total pile of cash your store generates from selling your stuff. And the most important part of that sentence? Before any deductions are made. Think of it like the starting gun in a race. It's just the beginning.
And, to be super precise, it's helpful to see how the money flows from one thing to the next. You start with that big number, gross revenue. Then, you subtract what it cost you to get your products. That's your cost of goods sold, or COGS. What's left? That's your gross income. But we're not done. From there, you subtract all the other expenses, and that's how you get to net income. Okay, so if revenue was the starting line, then income is the finish line. This is the bottom line. This is the number that tells the real story about how healthy and profitable your business actually is.
So income, or net income, is the money your business actually gets to keep. It's the profit you have after you've paid for every single thing it takes to run your store. Honestly, this is the only number that tells you if your business is truly built to last.
And what kind of expenses are we talking about? Well, it's the whole shebang. You've got the cost of your products, right? Then there's all your ad spend. Think Facebook, Google, TikTok. Then shipping costs, all those SaaS tools and Shopify apps you pay for every month, any salaries, and yep, you got to pay your taxes. All that stuff gets subtracted from your revenue.
All right, enough with the definitions. Theory is one thing, but let's see how this plays out in the real world. We're going to follow the money with a super simple but totally realistic e-commerce example. Okay, let's say you have a killer month. Your store pulls in a beautiful, round $10,000 in sales. That's your revenue, your top line. It feels awesome, doesn't it? But that's only chapter one of the story. Now watch closely as that number starts to shrink. From that 10 grand first, we got to pull out $4,000 for the cost of the products themselves. Boom. Then another $1,000 for ads. Gone. Then $500 for shipping. See ya. And finally, $2,000 for all the other stuff it takes to keep the lights on. With every deduction, we're getting closer to the truth.
And after all that, what are you left with? $2,500. That's your net income. That's your profit. Just think about that. You started with $10,000 in sales, but what you can actually take to the bank is only $2,500. That difference right there, that's everything.
So why are we hammering this home? Because if you only ever look at revenue, you can build a really, really busy business that doesn't actually make any money. It's a recipe for burnout. Understanding your income is the only way to build something that lasts.
Once you have this clarity, you can finally make smart decisions. You can look at a product and know if it's really profitable. You can manage your cash flow so there are no nasty surprises. You can tell if that expensive marketing campaign is actually worth it. And you can plan your next big move based on real money, not just vanity metrics. This is how you take control.
Okay, so right about now, you're probably thinking, man, this sounds like a total nightmare to track in a spreadsheet. And you know what? You're not wrong, especially as you start to scale.
Trying to keep all these numbers straight manually? It's just a recipe for mistakes and wasted time. That's where automated tools are a total game changer. They plug right into your store and crunch all these numbers for you instantly. You get a real-time snapshot of your revenue and, more importantly, your real income.
All right, to finish up, let's do a quick lightning round and answer some of the most common questions we hear about this, just to make sure we're all on the same page.
First one, we get this a lot. Can your income ever be higher than your revenue?
Nope, not a chance. Think about it. Income is what you get after you subtract costs from revenue. You're always taking away, so it's mathematically impossible for it to be bigger than the number you started with.
Okay, next question. What about income versus profit? Are those basically the same thing?
Yep, pretty much. In the world of business, especially for an online store, when people talk about net income or profit, they mean the exact same thing. The money that's actually left over after all the expenses are paid.
So if there's one single thing I want you to walk away with today, it's this. Revenue tells you how much money is coming in, but income reveals what's actually left. One is about activity, the other is about profitability.
So I'm going to leave you with a question to ask yourself. It's so easy to get caught up in those big, flashy revenue numbers, but now you know better. So go take a look at your own numbers. What story are they really telling you? What's your bottom line saying? Thanks for tuning in.